Hi, my name is Henry, and in this video, we'll do a mock APMM interview with Eesen, who's currently a first-year APMM on the Google Workspace team. And make sure to watch till the very end because we'll do a fun market sizing question on bathroom towels. But before we get started, please make sure to smash the like button to help with the YouTube algorithm. Without further ado, let's get started.
Eesen, tell me about yourself.
So I'm Eesen. I graduated from USC with degrees in business and accounting in May 2019. Since graduating, I started my career as a consultant at Workday. One of the biggest things I love about being a consultant is the fact that I get to convey the value of our product directly to our customers. And on the note of getting to work closely with customers directly and conveying value, when I co-founded my startup at USC, MeTero, one of the things I enjoyed the most about being a co-founder is that, yes, I got to create the products, but it was also really exciting to tell users why our product is such a cool product. In our case, we were creating really eco-friendly duffel bags made from cork and recyclable plastic, and we also made shirts made from milk waste. Funny enough, there's a long story behind that. But the marketing aspect of telling users why this is really cool, why they're helping the environment, all of that was what I found most exciting. So I love the fact that I get to do both those things in product marketing, which is why I'm also applying to this program, the APMM program. Some fun facts about me. I'm a marathoner. I actually ran the LA Marathon in my last semester at USC. I love to work out. Although I haven't run as many marathons lately, I love to bodybuild and I love to play some badminton. I'm always up for a run. So I'm a very outdoorsy person and I love watching anime. Anime is something that I grew up with. And that's another reason why that was a big driver for me to be a storyteller, because my love for anime led me to writing fanfics and short stories as a kid. And that, in essence, brought me to where I am today. And I'm currently learning how to play the piano as well.
Next question is, why product marketing?
Yeah, so I have two primary reasons for wanting to be a product marketer. As I've hopefully made clear, number one, and the biggest reason, is storytelling, because product marketers are the ones who are responsible for telling the story of the features of the products that they launch. And I love storytelling. As stated before, just my background personally, even when I was working full-time as a consultant or with my startup, what I enjoyed most was getting to tell the story of our products and conveying the value of those products to our customers. The second reason is the fact that I get to be very customer focused, and everything revolves around the customer in product marketing. In sales, you can probably make the case for the salesperson to be focused on trying to drive up revenues. And so the focus isn't so much on the customer as it is on how can I get this person to just buy our product. And in marketing, it's more about trying to get the customer to understand our story. And so the fact that it's very customer centric is also very appealing to me. So those are the two biggest reasons why product marketing and why I choose to be a product marketer, because I get to be a storyteller and I also get to be in a very customer focused role.
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
Yeah, so as far as my strengths go, I would say that number one, I'm a very creative person and I have a very strong desire to learn. I think one thing about me is I'm a very perseverant individual. With the marathon, I know I mentioned I ran the LA Marathon. I actually trained for that in 3 months. And I don't say that to brag, but it's really because I told myself I'm going to run the LA Marathon back in August of 2018. I can give you all the excuses. I never trained for it because of classes and stuff. But in December, I told myself I bought the ticket, or the tickets to run the race. And then so I'm running it. And so in 3 months, I trained for it. And so I was perseverant enough to actually push through, get like 2 to 3 hour runs on the weekends, and 1 to 2 hour runs on the weekdays to make that happen. And so similarly, carrying that perseverant attitude to learning, I love to learn new things and I'm constantly trying to better myself. I don't shun constructive criticism. I think if someone has an opinion about my work, it's with good intentions, especially if it's like my mentor, my boss. I'm always open to constructive criticism, and that drives my desire to learn. And as I've already touched upon, my love for storytelling and creativity is, I think, a huge strength in product marketing. As far as my weakness goes, I try to do too many things at once. I think my creative nature has its upsides, but it also has its downsides. And one of those downsides is that my creativity will take me in many different places. And so I'll try to touch upon many different things, maybe get involved in too many projects and whatnot. And that can be very overwhelming. And so it's something I'm working on and trying to improve myself with. Handling how many projects do I want to take on, how much responsibility should I be taking on, and really trying to make the most of fewer opportunities, as opposed to feeling the need to really just, poke into a bunch of different things.
What is your favorite marketing campaign and why?
I love this question. My favorite marketing campaign is the Dove Real Beauty sketches. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the campaign, just do a quick YouTube search. It is a very beautiful ad. So essentially, and I'll just quickly recap what the ad is, but basically, some women are asked to come in to basically a room, and there's a forensic specialist. They don't know the person or the forensic specialist. I don't even think they knew the person is there, but they're asked to describe what their face looks like. And so this person behind the curtain is drawing their faces. And then they're brought into a hall where they get to interact with the other women who are there, and neither of them know why they're there. But then they're brought back into the rooms and they're asked to describe a person they saw in the hall. And when they compare, so what happens is they'll have an image that they described of themselves, and they'll have an image which someone else described of them. And when they see and compare the two pictures, the women are in tears because they realize the one that they described of themselves is a lot more critical. They're not as appealing because they end up pointing out all their flaws, like maybe some have a rounded chin, or maybe they may have wrinkles, and the people that observed those they didn't point out all those flaws. They pointed out all the positive things in the other person. So yeah, very beautiful campaign. It had over 160 million views. It was shared like over 4 billion times, and sales jumped significantly. I think it almost doubled. And so the reason why it's my favorite campaign is because it really speaks to how everyone should be happy with themselves. And I think it also is about seeing the positivity within, as opposed to looking at all of our flaws, and that there's beauty in everything. And on that note, the reason why it's so important, I also want to talk about a childhood story. So when I was in third grade, I remember running the 1 mile run for fun. It was a race that everyone in third grade did. So I prepared really hard for it. I was also very overweight as a child, so I was not a fast person, but I trained really hard for it, hoping that I would finish not last, and enjoy like the ice cream sundae they give at the end. So it turns out once the race starts, like a minute in, my friend he sprained his knee or his leg, and he couldn't run, and so I was helping him finish the race. And as we got through to the very end, I let him finish before me. And so effectively I was the last person to finish the race. I still remember there was like one of the chaperones, she was like, "Oh, like are you still from the race?" Because it had taken that much time for us to finish the 1 mile. And so I look back and think, although there were so many things that I could point that were wrong about me, like, or when I say wrong, things that I wasn't too happy about myself with, like maybe I was overweight, I had all these beautiful qualities, like putting someone else ahead of myself. And so, it was just a very great reminder that, thinking about the positive aspects that we have outshine the negative.
What is an accomplishment that you're most proud of?
The accomplishment I'm most proud of right now, apart from getting into the APMM program, but granted, this is happening before that, this interview, it is running the LA Marathon. as probably noted, I wasn't a very athletic individual growing up. I grew up pretty chubby, and so I didn't really partake in a lot of sports. I played some tennis here and there, but I didn't play anything competitively. And I thought to myself, at USC in my last year, I may not be an athlete, but I have two legs, I can run, and I can train to be a long distance runner. I really and truly believe that. Like, maybe trying to be a competitive tennis player is not possible, but finishing the LA Marathon is definitely doable. And so, as I mentioned earlier, the fact that I was able to train for this marathon within 3 months, which I do not recommend because I was in intense pain after the marathon, but I I planned for it, I trained for it, I didn't give up, and I got through it. And there were people who, unfortunately, maybe they were too tired, they may have hurt themselves. They were, they had to drop like half or midway through the race, and while running, I guess being cheered on by others, by family, by friends, by knowing that this is something that I set out to accomplish. That's very difficult, and I did without necessarily being a runner myself. Is what makes it probably the accomplishment I'm most proud of.
Great. What is your favorite brand?
Yeah, so as I noted earlier, my favorite brand is Pokemon, and I have three reasons for that. Number one, it's the emotional connection that I have with the brand. Two, I feel very adventurous. And three, I believe that Pokemon is a great way to bring people together. So I'll start by talking about the first point, how I feel emotionally connected. For starters, Pokemon Yellow was the very first video game I got. I was an avid video gamer growing up, and so Pokemon Yellow for the Game Boy Color was my first video game. I had been a very avid Pokemon fan, like a TV show fan as well. So I was very familiar with the Pokemon series, and getting that game kind of allowed me to become the Pokemon trainer because I was getting to catch Pokemon, like battle people, and beat the Elite Four, which is like the final boss, I guess, in a way. And so getting to be part of that journey through gaming, through Pokemon, made me feel really special. And so it made me feel adventurous. And because I was such a strong video gamer, my closest friends as a child were others who also play Pokemon. Whenever we would hang out, we'd play Pokemon together, we'd battle each other, we'd catch, different types of Pokemon together, trade, and do all those fun things. And so it's my favorite brand because I have so many childhood memories from it. Even today, whenever I pick up a Pokemon game and play, it brings back those memories, and it makes me feel very adventurous.
How many bathroom towels are sold annually in the US?
Great question, Henry. I'd like to ask you a clarifying question. So by bathroom towel, are we just referring to like the towel that we use to wipe our body dry after like a bath or a shower? Or I just want to make sure that we're not talking about all towels in the bathroom, like hand towels and whatnot.
Yeah, let's keep it simple. The towel that you wipe your body off with.
Okay. So that being said, I'd like to make a few assumptions. So number one, because we're trying to identify how many bath towels are sold in the US, I'm going to assume that there are 320 million people in the US. Is that a fair assumption to make?
Yes.
So I'm going to take that 320 million and I'm going to break it into 4 different groups. I'm going to assume that there are 80 million people across the age group of like 0 to 20. There are 80 million people from 21 to 40, 80 million from 41 to 60, and then 80 million for people aging 61 to 80. Average life expectancy is somewhere like under 80. So I'm just going to assume those are the 4 groups, and 80 million spread evenly across those groups. My second assumption, everyone needs a towel after they take a bath. I'm not a parent, but I'm going to assume it's possible that maybe infants don't need a bath towel and that they can be dried off with a hand towel. But I'm not going to take that into account in my analysis because I think there's such a small group of people that I don't think it's worth factoring that in. And so that's another assumption I'm going to make. The third thing I think we need to keep in mind is showering frequency. So for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to assume everyone in my analysis showers at least once a day. I hope everyone in the United States of America showers at least once a day. But it's possible that some people in the age group of 0 to 20 shower more than once a day because they're more active, right? You're going to have kids running around, maybe getting dirty. And for that reason, I'm going to assume that maybe 50% of that group showers twice a day. And again, for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to assume everyone else showers once a day. The final thing that I'm going to take into consideration is replacing towels. So I personally like to replace my towels every year. I also have 2 bath towels, just in case something happens to the first. So I effectively buy 2 bath towels every year. And so I'm going to assume everyone else acts in a similar manner, right? So those were my assumptions. And now let's break down how many towels each of these age groups will go through per year. So for the 0 to 20 age group, because 50% of them are showering twice a day, they're going to be going through towels faster. And so normally any one of these age groups would go through 2 towels per year. But if we take, or 50% of 2 is 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, that group goes through 3 towels per year. Okay. The individuals aged 21 plus for the remaining 3 groups go through 2 towels a year, because that's just the standard assumption that we made. So when you add all these together, you have 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's 9 towels, right? So if you take 9 towels, multiplied by 80 million, because that's how many people we have in every group, you get 720 million towels. So my answer is that 720 million towels are sold annually in the US. And my cross-check is, we assumed that on average, a person will go through 2 towels a year. And I said that the population is like 320. And so 320 times 2 is 640. And I said 720, and that makes sense because there's a small portion of people going through 3 towels. So that is my answer. 720 million towels are sold in the US every year.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you want to learn about how you can break into product marketing, check out pmmcareers.com. Till next time, see you.